everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Laura. For today's recipe, I am going to share with you how I make my cornbread dressing. Some people call it dressing, some people call it stuffing. I call it dressing. I add chicken to my dressing because I like it a little meatier. You could even have this a standalone dish because it's so meaty. It's really good. It's a great make ahead side dish. So if you're trying to get ahead for the holidays, this is a great dish to try. You can freeze it and leave it a couple of months in the freezer if that's what you decide. Have it for a later date. That's a great idea with this dressing also. Okay guys, don't forget, if you're enjoying the content, give us a thumbs up because this tells YouTube to help share our videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. Okay guys, let's get started. Alright, we are going to get this recipe started with our chicken. I have some chicken thighs here. You can use chicken breast, but I feel like the chicken thighs gives this recipe a whole lot more flavor. Now we are going to add in our vegetables to give the broth some extra flavor because we are going to be using the broth in our recipe. Okay, we're not even going to chop this up small. We're just going to leave it in bigger chunks. Okay, we have some carrot and we have some celery. Okay, just put that all in there. And we're going to put in some garlic and just give the garlic a good smash. To this, we are going to add some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of poultry seasoning. I will have the recipe listed below, guys, as always. And then we are going to add our water. Okay, and I'm going to place this on the stove. We're going to cook this down for about an hour over medium heat. Just make sure it doesn't bubble over, and we'll be back to continue the rest of the recipe. Alright, now for the cornbread portion of this, I am going to make 4 pouches of cornbread. I use the Gladiola cornbread. You can use any brand you like. That does not matter in this recipe. Of course, you're going to adjust this, you know, according to your family or how much you want to make. I am going to make 2 batches, so that's why I'm making this amount right now. Now, this calls for eggs. I'm going to break this up just a little bit. This calls for eggs and milk. It's a good mix. Okay, now I am going to put this in a 9 by 13 3-quart casserole dish. You can bake this in a baking pan, whatever you have, it doesn't matter, because we're going to crumble it up anyway. So I'm going to spray it real nice, and we're going to pour in our cornbread mix. I have the oven preheated to 375. I'm going to bake this, and we're going to move on to the vegetable portion of this video. I'll be back. Alright guys, now for the vegetables, I'm not going to chop it. I'm going to use my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, we're just going to dice everything very small. There's the celery. Give it a little mix, make sure everything is chopped down. I'm going to add everything to this little bowl because we are going to saute the vegetables. Okay, now we're going to do an onion. And to the onion, I'm going to add some garlic. Add about 3 garlics. Okay, we add this to our bowl over here. Okay, and finally our bell pepper. I use green bell pepper. You can use any color bell pepper you like, whatever your family likes. We're just going to seed it Cut it into smaller pieces. Okay. All right, now we have all our vegetables here. I'm gonna pop you over to the stove and we're gonna saute these vegetables. Okay guys, here I have a skillet with 1 stick of butter. You can use half butter, half olive oil, but I just love the flavor that the butter gives the dressing. Our butter is melted. I am going to add our vegetables. We're going to saute these till they're about halfway done, just till the onion is translucent, because it's going to continue to cook once we mix everything together with the cornbread. So let's just let this go for about 10 minutes. I have my chicken cooking over there. We have our cornbread in the oven. I will be back as soon as these are ready. All right, our chicken is done. This is very hot. I'm gonna take out my chicken pieces. Okay, we're gonna set these aside to cool. Just get all the old vegetables out of there. They have done their job. And I am going to strain the broth. And just discard the rest of the vegetables because they have done their job. We don't need these anymore. Okay, we're gonna let everything come to room temperature, or just to cool, so we're able to handle it to assemble the actual dressing. Okay, so I have the cornbread cooling, the vegetables cooling, now the chicken and the stock. So we will be back as soon as all this is cool and we can handle it with our hands. All right, we're gonna continue. I have all my components here, my vegetables, my cornbread, my chicken, my stock over here. And what we're gonna do, my hands are clean, I am going to debone the chicken and we are gonna chop it up into small bits. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit at a time and we're gonna chop this up very finely. Transfer this back over to our plate. Let me clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, now we're gonna get our cornbread. It's already completely cold. And what I do is I cut it just into little cubes so I can scoop it out of here and break it up. I'm gonna take this big old bowl that I have here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop in the cornbread into our bowl. I use this big bowl because it's just easier for me to get in there and mix everything up. Now this pan, we're gonna use it again, so you don't even have to wash it. And we're gonna take our cornbread and we're gonna break it up with our hands. So you're gonna crumble it all up. Okay, I brought you in for a closer shot so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I make sure everything is crumbled up real nice. If you don't want to use your hands, you can use a spoon. It's up to you. My hands are very clean. Okay, that should be good right there. Now we're gonna add in our chicken, our vegetables. See why you need a big bowl? But then this is a large amount that we're making. We're gonna start adding in our herbs. Some parsley, some sage, some poultry seasoning. Now I will get a spoon and start mixing this in there. Now we're gonna get some pepper and some salt. Give it a mix. Now we're going to add 2 eggs that are beaten, slightly beaten, and we're going to add some of the stock that we have from the chicken. You want it to be the consistency of a cake batter. Put a little bit at a time, don't overdo it. Okay, that's good right there. See how thick that is? I hope you can see that clearly. Okay, and that should be it right there. Now we're gonna pour it back into our pan. Okay, I changed my mind and decided to go ahead and make them into smaller portions so I can show you how to store these if you decide not to cook them. I did spray the pans. Okay, Now we are going to dot them with some butter. Okay, I just got 1 stick of butter. We're gonna dot the tops of them. I'm gonna cover this one with foil. I have the oven preheating to 375. We're gonna cover this and leave it covered for 40 minutes, and then we're gonna uncover it for another 15 to 20 minutes until the top browns. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven and I will be back. Our dressing is ready. I did let it sit and cool for a little while because it was just extremely hot. I will leave the baking time and everything in the description bar below. I'm gonna cut a piece of this, and as you can see, it cuts just like a cake. And there we go. Smells like Thanksgiving in this kitchen today. Scrumptious. Okay guys, I'm gonna give this a taste. It just smells like Thanksgiving in this kitchen already, even with just dressing. So good. This is so good. You can taste little pieces of the chicken, the cornbread, the vegetables. This is just so good. I hope you give it a try, guys. This is my go-to recipe for dressing in my kitchen for Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I hope you give the recipe a try. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I will leave the recipe and any items that I used in the description bar below. Just take a look there. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I will get back with you. Okay guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good.